So this one we're going to do today is the tassel stitch, which would be this one. You can use it, well, probably you have seen, like, I don't know how you call that, but you know when you have those curtains and you have the strand that you pull, you have this in the ending, right? So you could use it to do like this detail. You could use it to do a detail on, I don't know, maybe something like you're doing a scenario and you have like curtains, you have bed sheets, you have, I don't know, maybe a bag, and then you have this pom-poms coming out. You can also use this long one for like hair in a ponytail, I don't know. So this is really nice because it comes like out and stays loose like this, okay? So I did this too so you could see how it is. This is the tassel stitch, okay? First of all, because I used on this one 12 strands on the needle, you would like to use maybe a fabric that's has more of an open weave, right? Like you can see through, you can see the crossing here, right? This one is a linen. This is the one we use for our beginners class because it's easier to go through with any needle, right? You can use the fabric you choose. The only thing it's going to maybe be a little bit more difficult to pull the needle out, okay? So fabric, hoop, needle, because I'm going to use a lot of strands, I'm using the thickest one I have, which would be this one. I think this one is a size 3, if I'm not wrong. You can use size 3, 5. This is a sharp point one for embroidery, so it has like this big eye. I'm going to use regular thread, embroidery thread. Here I'm using this pink one that I have this little piece, so I'm going to use this one and my embroidery scissors, okay? So to start, I need to thread my needle. Here I have the 6 strands. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to thread my needle with 6, and I'm going to use it like this, double one, okay? So in the end I'll have 12. That's the amount I used here, okay? You can choose to do with less. It's going to make a more delicate one, a smaller one. You can also, what I suggest you to do, just get a piece of fabric and test. Test with 1, with 2, with 3, with 4, with 5, with 12, 20, I don't know. The only thing is that you need a needle big enough to put it through the amount of thread you want to use, right? So here I'm going to use like this. This piece I have is already a short one. So the amount of thread you will need would be like, let's say for this one, that's a longer one. I'm going to use, oops, put the ending together. I'm going to use this amount, a little bit to make the loop, and the amount to go down. I would always leave a little bit more, like this big loop is not this big, but just so you have like enough to go through and to work with, okay, so it doesn't come out. As you're going to practice it, you will kind of feel how much thread you will need. So I would suggest just use like, I don't know, let's see. This one I have has 12 inches. It's a 24 inches that I am using folded, so it's 12 inches in the total, okay? So we're not going to do any knot in the end. We're going to start by, see, this one was the first one I was doing, and I kind of got super excited by doing the line, and I did it too big. So for this line, I should use more threads, more strands, okay? The size of the line is going to be from one ending to the other of this top loop here. So what I like to do is just mark like a little dot, line dot. Okay, and then wait, oh, here. What we're going to do is we're going to go with the needle. Imagine the center of this from one side to the other, and imagine that you're going one in and one out. So you need to pass 2 holes here. So I'm going to do like in the half of it to this side, I'm going to go in under my mark, okay? Under my mark, I'm going here. And then here I just pull it to the side and I hold with my finger. Then I'm coming out in the top part. It's hard to see through the camera. Let me see here. Okay, so I'm going out in the end of my line here on the other side, on the opposite side. Wait, I'm a little bit up. In the end of my line, I'm going to pull it all the way up, and here I have a piece of my fabric coming out too, okay? And then I'm going in on the other side of my line. See, this is the ending of my line, so I'm going on the other side. I put it in. And then now I am going to come out right on the side of this one that I went in. I'm coming out here, right on the side, inside of this top loop here. Let's see if you can see that. Too close, like this. Coming out. See, it's a little bit hard to pull. So that's why I said to use more open weave. You see, you can see the holes in it. Some of them are more tight, so it's harder to get into the holes. Okay, so this one, you see, when I put my needle in, it makes a hole. Some of them are so tight that when I put my needle, you have to like be pressing really hard. Okay. Focus. Put it down. That's it. We're done. And then here I just decide how long I want. So let's say this one I'm going to be a medium size. I'm going to cut here. Okay. And then I come with my needle and open all of these strands that were twisted, right? Because that's how they come when we buy them. I just separate them and then I just kind of brush them the way I want. Also, what I do sometimes, I did this once only actually, and it worked. I just sprayed a little bit of water and brushed it the way I wanted and left it like this, and then it dried and it stayed like this. So if you want, you can spray a little bit of water. Just remember, you know, you're going to make the whole thing wet, so be careful with that. Okay, so this is the tassel stitch. I hope you liked it. And remember, the size of your line is going to be the size of this top loop here. We are going to do it line. I'm going in here, out in the end of my line, and in the end of the other end of the line, and I'm coming out here. Okay, I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, now we have the embroidery group and you can ask us there. Okay, bye bye.